What's shaking booktube? My name's Cam and welcome back to another video. Today's video is something completely original, never been done before, absolutely groundbreaking, super creative. It's a bookish would you rather, and you know something funny? This is my second time filming this video. Camera issues? No. Audio issues? No. Was the video just not that great? Yes. Here's the problem. The first time I filmed this bookish would you rather video, I did it with prompts from two different websites. One of them was BuzzFeed, so that should have been a red flag from the start. But when I finished the video, I was like, that kind of sucked. All of the questions just sucked. Like, for example, the very first one from the BuzzFeed website is, would you rather have a friend who loses the books that you lend to them or dog-ears the pages? Now, I'm not a fan of having my book pages dog-eared, but your choice is basically between having a book returned to you with a few folded pages or literally not having the book given back to you at all. That's stupid, right? Like, that's not just me, that's stupid. All the questions were basically like that, so I thought, it. I'm gonna write my own, and that's exactly what I did. I've got each and every one of them has something to do with books. You're welcome to play along, you're welcome to film this video for yourself if you're a creator as well. Let's make this interactive. If you'd like, go down to the comments, and as you're watching the video, type in what your answer would be for each of these questions.
But know this.
There are no loopholes. No. Think of this video as the movie Bedazzled. You're Brendan Fraser, and, well, I guess that makes me the sexy devil. Nice. Question number 1. Would you rather spend exactly 1 year traveling abroad in either Middle-earth, Neverland from the book Peter Pan, Wonderland from the book Alice in Wonderland, The Chocolate Factory from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry? And before you jump to Hogwarts, let me tell you this. You are not a wizard. You're just spending a year traveling abroad, and you get to spend a year in Hogwarts. You get to attend the classes, watch what they do, hang out with the students, but you don't get to do magic. You are simply a muggle exchange student. Which do you choose? Personally, I would still be incredibly tempted to go with Hogwarts, but I'm also pretty torn between going with Neverland from Peter Pan as well, because watching the, Peter Pan movies, the Disney animated movie as a kid, Neverland just looked incredible. Getting to, swim with the babe and mermaids or fight the pirates, fly around with Tinkerbell, you get to do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, there's just no way I can go past spending a year chilling in Hobbiton with the hobbits, smoking some of the finest pipe weed that Middle-earth has to offer, getting to chow down with a race of people who have an extraordinary amount of meals every day, and above all, getting to attend one of the infamously rowdy parties that the hobbits throw in the Shire. Let's be real, hobbit parties look off the f***ing chain. I'd have to go with Middle-earth. I'd spend a year abroad in Middle-earth. You do have to take into account the dangers of traveling around in these places, including Middle-earth, but I gotta be real with you, traveling to Rivendell would be pretty dope as well. Next question. That's an original transition. No one's ever done that one before. Would you rather be able to remember the last 100 books that you've read at any time, word for word, picture perfect memory? You remember every single little detail of the last 100 books that you've read at any time, but you can only read word by word. The words only present themselves to you on the page very slowly, at about this speed. The cat ran up the tree. You're capable of reading more, but the words don't actually show themselves to you until they're ready, and that happens to be very, very slow. I can imagine that would be extremely frustrating. Like, yeah, you can remember the last 100 books detail for detail, but imagine actually trying to read an entire book at that pace. Would you rather that, or would you rather only remember the last 10 books that you've read vividly, but you can read them instantaneously just by opening the book? Done. You can read books just like that, but you can only remember the last 10 books vividly. You can remember the other books that you've read, but it's really, really blurry. Would you rather remember your last 100 reads word for word, but you can only read them incredibly slowly, or remember the last 10 reads quite well, not word for word, but quite well, and have the ability to consume the book as soon as you open it? I feel like this one comes down to how much of a big reader you are, and I happen to be a pretty slow reader as it is, and I happen to not read that many books anyway, so I'd have to go with the slow one. Plus, it would also be kind of cool to be able to cite specific lines and bits from a book that you read, a couple of years ago, if you only read 100 books in that time, which is probably very likely if you're reading that slowly. Would you rather all of your favorite books, all of the books that you've enjoyed thoroughly, all of the books that you've been hyped about, they're all erased from existence? You remember that they've made you feel awesome, but you can't remember anything that happened, anything about the books you can't remember, and there's no way to remind yourself of that. There's no way to check on them because they never existed. All that remains of all of your most favorite reads ever is the feeling that they gave you. Or you remember all of the books that you've thoroughly enjoyed in the past, all of your favorite reads, you remember them perfectly, but every book you read from now on, you're only meh about. You're never able to enjoy a book that fully ever again. I have a feeling a lot of other people are going to go with their favorite books being erased from existence because they still are able to read new favorite books in future, but I'm going to have to go with the other one in this instance. I still remember all of the favorite reads I've had so far, but I'm never able to get fully satisfied by a book ever again. And that's only because there's so many books I've read in my past that have been so transformative for me as a person, as the person I am today, and I think it would also drive me mental not being able to remember any of the stuff that happened in these books that made me who I am and not being able to check. I don't know. I'm interested to see what people's answers are for that one. Would you rather be on the run from either Arya Stark from Game of Thrones or Mia Corvere from Neverland? One of these assassins is hunting you down and they won't stop until they've got you, but you get to choose one fictional character as well. Obviously within reason. You can't choose like a god from a book or something like that. It has to be someone within reason, either a human or a creature whose abilities are at least comparable to Mia and Arya Stark. So I think I would rather be hunted down by Mia Corvere because although that would still suck, at least to a certain extent, I could trust the person that's protecting me. The thing with Arya Stark is that if she managed to catch up with us, she could kill that person and wear their face, and I would be already dead. I suppose Mia technically has that option as well, but it would be a lot more difficult for her to do that. I don't know. I would just rather take my chances with Mia Corvere, especially after what Arya just pulled off on the actual TV show Game of Thrones. If that's the Arya that's gunning me down, no. No thank you. As for the person protecting me, I'm gonna go with Legolas. I feel like Legolas is on par with Mia and Arya, but also has a good chance of protecting my ass. Would you rather? Every time you're reading a book, every 2 pages that you turn, you get a paper cut, a really painful one, or every time you're reading from a book, you have to yell out the words as you're reading them as loudly as you can. So that would pretty much rule out reading in public if you didn't want to look like a psychopath. Shit, I didn't realize till just now that's actually a really difficult one, right? Oh, paper cuts freak me the hell out, but at the same time, I'm already not that great in social situations, so even if I was home alone, I can't imagine screaming out the words to a book you're reading at the top of your lungs would be that practical. I can't go with the paper cut. I'm thinking about it and just no, I'll go with yelling, thanks. Would you rather only be able to read books from now on until the day you die as an ebook on your phone? You can only use your phone to read books from now on, or only be able to listen to them as audiobooks. Physical books are completely out. That's not an option for you now. For the rest of your life, you have to either read them as an ebook on your phone or listen to them as an audiobook. God, this one's really difficult as well because I imagine it would bother the hell out of me having to read books on my phone from now on. But the problem is with audiobooks, the range of books you're able to read or listen to is greatly decreased, and I also think you'd have to wait quite a lot longer as well in most situations. But then being confined to a phone screen to read, God, that's a hard choice. I really like audiobooks, I enjoy them, but I don't know how I would feel about that being my only option. I'm gonna go with ebooks on the phone. I mean, it would suck, but at least I have the option of reading pretty much anything I like, I guess. Anyway, that's it. I think that's 10 times better than any of those other bookish would you rather quizzes that I looked up. So if you like it, you can do it as well. Go ahead. Make sure you let me know what your answers were to the questions down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch ya.